Looking to take your financial knowledge to the next level? You're in the right place. Welcome to Ask Ralph, offering accounting, technical, and financial advice. Whether you're looking to save taxes or improve your business, he's got you covered. Here's your host of Ask Ralph, Ralph Eastep Jr.
Hello and welcome back to the Ask Ralph Show. If this is your first time joining us, I want to say welcome to the show. My name is Ralph Eastep. I'm an accountant in Middletown, Delaware, and I do this show every week. In addition to the show being transmitted on the radio, we also do have a podcast that we release the show with, and that's called the Ask Ralph Show. And you can find those podcasts wherever you typically find your podcasts. And today I want to talk about the top New Year's resolutions for business success. You know, we're in that time frame now where we're getting close to the end of the year, and I thought it was a great time to talk about some things. And there was an article written by a woman by the name of Susan Ward. It was updated on August 22nd, 2018, and she basically sets out a list of 10 things to do for small business success in the new year. So I thought we'd handle these and go through and talk about those. First one is learn to delegate more and do more of it. And that really is the key to business success. You know, I see a lot of businesses in my line of work. And what I have noticed routinely is those people who are trying to do everything themselves really do put themselves in a position where it's very difficult for them to be successful. So the bottom line here is let someone else do some of the tasks for a change. Delegation is the key to a healthy work-life balance, and that is so true. So number one, learn to delegate more. Number two, promote your business regularly and consistently. You know, that's one of the big things I find, with my clients is there's not a commitment to attract new customers. And the truth is, like she mentions here, if you want to attract new customers, you have to make promotion a priority. And you don't have to spend a mint to do that. You know, there are some low-cost ways to promote your business to get started. You can work with social media. Social media can be free. You don't have to spend a lot of money on Google AdWords or on Facebook advertisements. You can do something as simple as, reach out to the community and, put pictures of work you're doing or something like that. Number three is make business planning a weekly event. And this is, one of the old adages I've heard from, time and time again is that, what gets planned gets done. And you need to make that part of your business success. And planning is vital if you want a healthy, growing business. It's really important. You've got to set aside time each week or even each day if you can to just put some plans together. If we find ourselves that we're always putting out fires, it doesn't give you a lot of time to take a look at, what are my opportunities? What are the threats out there? What are some new products or new services that I can offer? Number four, learn something new. And this doesn't have to necessarily be something that is directly related to your business, but more so, you can learn something new that will add to your life skills or a new dimension of interest in your life, which may give you some opportunities to find ways to be successful. At the same time, it may develop into new friendships or, you might find some colleagues or people that you can network with that will add to your business success as well. Number five, join a new business organization or networking group. Now, you have to be careful with these. I've never been a big fan of these type of things. So it's important that you take a look and see, what is it you're trying to get involved in. And I think the key to this, and she mentioned this in this article, is approaching networking events with a strategy. That will make it more successful. You got to have an idea of what is your goal with this organization? I remember a few years ago, I joined the Central Delaware Chamber of Commerce, and it's a fine thing to be involved with. That's great. But that being said, one of the things I will tell you is that it seemed to me like when I went to events, it was all about, let's pick this person's brain for free. I can even remember someone called me and said, I got your card at the expo. I think it was a business expo or something like this in Dover. And a fellow called maybe a week or two after that and said, look, I got your card at the business expo and I just had a couple questions for you. And I said, okay, well, if you want to ask me questions, and that would typically be, a consultation. Oh, he said, okay, well, let's do a consultation. I said, all right, well, our fee for that is such and such. And he goes, okay, I'm done. Click. And just hung up the phone. So that's great that you want to build that networking, but if you're not getting anything from it, you need to set those boundaries ahead of time. Number six, give back to your community. And that's an old adage, and it's a biblical adage, and those who give, get. And that's a great way to promote your business, to find a cause that matters to you and give what you can. This could be a year where you serve on it may not even be giving per se in stuff or money. It could be as simple as serving on a committee, being a mentor, or volunteering, or of course making, regular donations to a group. that makes the place where your business is or where you live a better place, and be selective in that. There's a lot of organizations out there that are worthy, and find one that fits what you're trying to do. Number 7, put time for yourself on your calendar. One of the cool things she mentions here is to actually put a meeting on your calendar called Meet with Yourself. And that's important. It's important to take the time to recharge and refresh yourself. You've got to find that balance of healthy work-life balance. That's the key to small business success, because if not, you're going to burn out. And then what happens is you don't have time for the planning. You don't have time for those other things that you need to do to be successful. Number 8, as we talked about planning, is setting realistic goals. This is a valuable habit if you set attainable goals that are achievable. You need to make sure that the goals you set aren't just pie in the sky goals. I want to be a millionaire by the end of the year. Well, guess what? That's probably not going to happen. But let's say that you're a retail business and you say, look, I'm going to set a goal of increasing my revenue by 10% this year. Well, that's not an unrealistic goal, but you have to look and put together those goals so you know what you're reaching for. If it's just, hey, I'm going to open up the door this morning, that's my goal, is I'm going to show up for work. You're not going to be successful, and you're not going to see a big change until you take the time to set those goals. Number 9, don't just make do, get a new one. And this is something that at the end of the year is really a key thing. If there's equipment or things that are going on in your business that you need to figure out and do better, like let's say, for example, it's an old fax machine that people can't stand to use it anymore. It may be the time to take a look at that at year end and say, look, maybe we should upgrade this. Is there some efficiency that we can get? And, and the benefit to that is you've got that tax write-off that you could potentially work on as well. And the last thing she mentions here is drop what's not working and move on. And I think this is brilliant. She says, if a technique, product, or business relationship isn't working for you, stop using it. You'll be surprised how many people I meet in my practice that are continuing to do something just because of the sake that, well, that's the way we've always done it. That's not the right answer. There's a book out there you should read called Sacred Cows Make the Best Burgers. And I don't know the author, but it is a great book. And it basically challenges that just because you've done something a certain way for a certain period of time doesn't mean that you need to continue to do it. I used to work with a credit union, and we actually made that a challenge. And we said to our staff, listen, if you can find something that we do that is one of these sacred cows and you can see where we could save money by not doing it, we would actually share some of that revenue with you. And it was amazing the things that we found. There were so many things that we said we assumed they were sacred, but we've always done it that way. But that doesn't mean it's the right way. Or it may mean that, that's the way it was before, but now, the new technology is out there that could do this better. So, with anything else, like I said, with these New Year's resolutions, the key is to plan. The key is to set aside time to make the plans work and make sure that you're investing in yourself and your business. So I hope this was helpful, and I wish you a happy New Year. And again, you can check out our podcasts or our website at AskRalph.com, and we'd like to hear from you.
You've been listening to Ask Ralph, brought to you by Saggio Accounting Plus. Please subscribe to and rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a rating and review. Our podcast is produced by Carolyn Peters. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Ask Ralph Media. You can also hear me each week on 1450 WILM and on 1410 WDOV in Delaware, and on the iHeartRadio app. Submit your questions or ideas for future shows by sending an email to AskRalph@AskRalph.com.
The information contained in this episode of Ask Ralph is based on data available as of the date of its release. Saggio Accounting Plus and Ask Ralph Media Inc. is under no obligation to update this content if changes occur. Applying this information to your specific situation requires careful consideration of all facts and circumstances, and any information provided is not to be considered as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney before acting on any material covered.